Long days and pleasant nights, fellow travelers along the path of the beam, and welcome to the horror show. I'm Jaime and Fuego.
I'm Marcia.
I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Susie von Slana.
And we are here to check out, everyone, the second trailer for Dr. Sleep.
They say final trailer.
And final trailer. I heard that as well. Yeah, the sequel to The Shining, directed by Mike the Haunting of Hill House Flanagan, who also did Gerald's Game. Great Stephen King adaptation there, various other things.
Plus
Absentia, which you reviewed on the channel.
Absentia, right?
Oculus, yeah. Hush, which Marcia loved.
Yep.
Yeah. I have heard that this trailer actually gives a little bit of revelation about how they're going to somehow meet in the middle between the myth of the book and the changes that Kubrick made in his film, the original Shining film. So how they're going to kind of do that little balancing act is what I'm most intrigued by. But Ewan McGregor as the grown-up Danny Torrance is awesome casting. Rose the Hat is a terrific villain, along with her little psychic vampire True Knot group. So this was one I was probably more excited about than even in Chapter 2, as far as King stuff this year.
I know, because you're weird. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's get into it, guys. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, tro.
Racist.
Oh.
What?
Interesting how they did that same shot.
There was a place,
Just at night.
a dark place. They closed it down and let it rot.
Can you hear?
But the things that lived there,
Hello, Danny.
they come back.
Not many ride the bus this far north. You're running away from something?
Man, this guy's everywhere. He was just
That's
in
what
Hobbs
she
and Shaw.
said.
He's on Fear the Walking Dead.
I'm running away from myself, I guess.
Oh, that cliched line. I guess I was just running from myself.
You can hear me. You're magic. Like me.
I don't know about magic. I always called it the Shining. The world is a hungry place. A dangerous place.
These people, they hurt people like us.
These
to the
are
store.
the devils. They'll eat what shines. And they've noticed that little girl.
Well, hi there.
Huh.
Get out of my head! Get out!
Cool.
Power like that in so long.
They're coming.
Huh.
Where are we going?
There's a place.
They're going back to the Overlook?
You sure want to do this?
I'm ready.
Yes, you run here.
Wow, the maze,
And then
too.
I will find you, and you will scream for years.
Come and play with us forever and ever.
Well, we obviously know one big book change.
Yeah, there can't
Very
be an
big
Overlook
book
because the
change.
Overlook was destroyed in The Shining.
And in the book, it's destroyed. Yeah.
So they're going back to the Overlook, it appears.
It's been
All right.
shut
Fuego,
down.
final, why don't you start us off, obviously, with your thoughts on it?
This is where I don't know if I should say. In the book, there is no Overlook. It's just like an empty campgrounds kind of area in the Dr.
Oh, so they
Sleep
do go
book.
back to it.
They go back to the site of the Overlook in
Okay.
the book, whereas they're just going back to the hotel. It appears from this trailer, long since shut down, but obviously residual evil remains in a place like that. No surprise. More of a story trailer. I'm really digging the actress whose name eludes me, who's playing Rose the Hat. I know she was in a couple of those Mission Impossible movies, the later ones as Tom Cruise love interest, and
She looks a little bit like a young chick from The Hereditary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Toni Collette.
Toni Collette, yeah, a really young Toni Collette. She looks awesome in this, honestly.
We also get a taste of just how in so many of the same habits of his father, you know, where he looks all disheveled and messed up, and I'm running from myself. Cliched line, obviously, but yeah, more of just explanation about how these people are after this powerful young girl, what they are, what is going on. They're going back to an abandoned Overlook, though, as opposed to just a place where the Overlook used to be, because that is I mean, that happens in the book. You know, they do go back to where the Overlook was. And
do you think they can accomplish what they accomplished in the book with the Overlook itself?
one specific spoilery aspect I can't go into, maybe. Still, yeah, okay. I think they could, and I believe we are not going to see a still alive Dick Halloran. We are going to see a ghost of Dick Halloran. That's what I'm starting to think now, is they aren't going to have the fact that he, you know, is still alive like in the book. I think he's just going to be some sort of spiritual, almost like Jedi spirit kind of thing.
Echo, you know, that Danny still hears or something.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where grown-up Danny's going to get his advice, is from the spirit of Dick. Is now what I'm kind of
or
thinking
they
is
go
going to happen.
back and negate what they did in The Shining and just say, just kidding, he didn't actually die or something. But
seeing Rose the Hat going through the hedge maze, that's a really cool shot, though. Yeah. And I mean, her being, I don't know, it's a different turn of the wheel, as I always say. So I'm okay with this. It's just interesting how they're kind of trying to make both sets of people happy. And if there's anyone who can do it, it's Mike Flanagan. So yeah. What do you think, Marcia? You've read the book too.
Yeah, and I wasn't a huge fan of the book, to be honest. I didn't find it as interesting as I did The Shining. But at the same time, I love the way this looks. This looks really interesting, and maybe I just need to go back and reread it. But the book itself was kind of boring to me. I didn't think it flowed as well as The Shining did, but this makes me like go, oh, this is really interesting, and I like the idea of them actually going back to the Overlook and be able to tap into The Shining a little bit more, and bringing back some of those old gems, which I think a lot of fans of the movie will love to see. And I wasn't a huge fan of The Shining after I read the book, and we rewatched it, and it was so slow. But this looks like it's fast paced. It looks like they're gonna really just maybe touch on a little bit of Danny's like torment, but really focus on the protagonist here, or the antagonist, and the girl in that situation, versus like spending miles and miles and miles of dialogue on Danny's like history and how he's dealt with.
Just to jump in, something that Cecil and I discussed in a recent review about just trying to separate the book and the film and stuff like that, and it's an important thing to touch back on, because I was originally thinking I wanted to reread this book before seeing the movie. I don't think I want to, because I think it really sets up more nitpicking, more expectation for specific things to happen. I remember the book very well, but I don't remember every implicit little detail that I think would make me just more just like, yeah, why didn't they do this? That sort of thing. But I remember the major beats, and I've seen a lot of them in the trailer, and I'm really stoked they're doing them. So
I actually think I would enjoy the movie way more than I enjoyed the book anyway. So
interesting. Okay. Just real quick, my thoughts, having not read the book, having seen the original Shining, not necessarily appreciating the original Shining as much as everyone else does. Like, I appreciate it for what it is. I appreciate the movie. I don't necessarily like the movie as much as everyone else. I feel like it's very slow. I feel like there's only really a few standout moments. I think Jack is the only really good actor in the film. So I have my issues with the original film, but this makes me really interested to dive back into that world, especially if it's different from what the book was presenting. So I am definitely on board for this. I mean, I was super on board for the It reboot, and it just kind of proved me in my own mind to be right to be excited about it. So I'm excited about this in kind of the same way. So
I wish they could have redone The Shining and then jumped into this.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe they'll go backwards.
Susie Von Slaughter.
Literally same.
Really?
Like, I haven't read the books. I appreciate The Shining for what it was, but I wasn't like a super fan of it. Like, I'm a huge fan of Jack Nicholson himself. But this, I love Ewan McGregor. I think he's an amazing actor. So I'm really, really excited about it. So yeah, I think it sets up for something new. Like you said, you wish that it went to the original Shining. But like you said, maybe it'll go backwards. But I think this is good. It's different. You know, it's not going that 1-2-1-2-1-2 formula. So well, I guess we'll see. But no, I really want to see this. I think it looks really, really good. I'm very interested.
So, yeah, I think that's going to do it for our reaction to the final trailer for Dr. Sleep, guys. Why don't you let us know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on it? How do you feel about it tying so directly into the Kubrick Shining when it's not even the one that was as close to the book? So this is kind of trying to be the book, but also tying back into the original movie. So, I don't know. I'm curious what y'all's thoughts are on it, so let us know in the comments down below. while you're down there, click that like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want to catch more reactions like this. And if you want to go even further, there is a link to our Patreon down below, so you can become a patron and actually tell us movies to review and things like that. So one of our Patreon requests was The Shining not too long ago, so that review and commentary are on the channel. So thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Susie Von Slaughter.
Gracias, Behind Me, and Fuego.
Marcia Parker.
And remember, stay scared.